Good morning. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Meetinghouse of Provincetown, where we affirm the inherent worthiness and dignity of every person, and where we support each other on our spiritual search for truth and meaning. My name is Reverend Kate Wilkinson, and I am so glad that you have joined us this morning. Welcome to those of you in the room, and welcome also to those of you joining us via our live stream. Before we begin our worship service, I have just a few announcements to share. First, thank you, Ada, for playing the organ today. Love to hear that organ, and you will also get to hear her playing the piano later. We had such a busy week at the Meetinghouse last week, so I really want to thank everyone who attended our new member class, our book club, and the Trunk or Treat Halloween event. They were all wonderful. Thank you. This week, on election night, November 5th, our Zoom coffee hour will be devoted to holding prayerful space for a safe and peaceful election night. And then on Wednesday the 6th, we will be opening up the Meetinghouse from 10 o'clock to noon for anyone who wants to drop by. We'll get some bagels and cream cheese. We'll have some candles and some other things for recentering ourselves. We will not know who won the election at that point, but it will be good to be together. Please also mark your calendar for Saturday, November 9th for the return of our fabulous chili cook-off. That's this coming Saturday. Will reports that we could still use a couple of more chili entries. So if you would like to whip up a crock pot of your favorite chili recipe, please sign up at ptownchiliCookoff.com. And we could also use a few more people at the door and a few cleanup volunteers. So please let me or Will Hildreth know if you can volunteer for that. Everyone else, please come and bring friends. As well as being a lot of fun, this is a great fundraiser for the Meetinghouse. And speaking of fundraising, members, if you haven't yet filled out your 2025 pledge card, please do, either on the teal blue forms downstairs or on our website, uumh.org. The board is preparing our draft budget this week, so it will be really useful to know what to predict for our members' contributions next year. And thank you. Finally, if you are here in person today, we hope that you will join us downstairs after worship for some coffee and conversation in Acker Bosworth Hall. Let's take a moment now to affirm our Meetinghouse covenant. You can find this printed on the purple laminated cards in your pews. It might be tucked under some hymnals. We also had a wedding this week. I'm going to say it line by line, though, so you can also just repeat each line back to me. Love is the spirit of this Meetinghouse.
Love is the spirit of this Meetinghouse.
This is our great covenant.
This is our great covenant.
To dwell together in peace.
To dwell together in peace.
To seek the truth in love.
To seek the truth in love.
And to help one another. Now, as we light our chalice here in the sanctuary, I invite those of you joining us online to light a candle wherever you are. In this way, we can feel connected even while we are apart. And this morning, I invite our worship host, Eden, and Liz to light our chalice for us.
Our chalice lighting this morning is by Richard Fuchs, and it's actually a responsive reading. Yes. So I will need your help with this one. It is 515 at the back of the gray hymnals. I'll give you all a second to find it. It is called We Lift Our Hearts in Thanks. Can you find number 515 and join me? I will read the bold words, and you can read the italics. For the sun and the dawn, which we did not create, for the moon and the evening, which we did not make, for food which we plant but cannot grow, for friends and loved ones we have not earned and cannot buy, for this gathered company which welcomes us as we are from wherever we have come, for all our free churches that keep us human and encourage us in our quest for beauty, truth, and love, for all things which come to us as gifts of being from sources beyond ourselves, gifts of life and love and friendship, we lift up our hearts in thanks this day. Thank you.
Won't you please join me in singing our opening hymn? It is the very first one in our gray hymnals, number 1. May nothing evil cross this door. Please rise as you are able for hymn number 1. You may be seated. I invite you now to join me in a spirit of meditation and prayer. During this prayer or at any time during the service, you are invited to light a silent candle at the table to the right of the pulpit where there is a journal to record your thoughts and prayers. Now, today's prayer is a little different than our usual prayers in that it's going to be interwoven with singing. And the words are by my colleague, Sherry Woodbury. They are beautiful. They hold up all that is going on in our world and the feeling that it can feel like too much sometimes. Between the lines of the prayer from your seats, I invite you to join me in singing hymn number 1002 in these teal hymnals, Comfort Me. That's 1002 in the teal hymnals, Comfort Me. We'll pause between each verse as I share more lines from the prayer. This is a really simple song, so feel free to just close your eyes if you know the song or if that feels right to you. And you'll know when your first time is to start singing when I say, "Together we sing." Okay. Oh, my soul. At times, the challenges I face are too much. Too much illness, too much struggle, too much conflict between family and neighbors, too much suffering in the world and on our screens and out of sight, but we know it is happening. And what shall we do? Can I bear the weight of it all? It's hard to be human, especially a soft-hearted human. Spirit of love, will you comfort me? Together we sing. Comfort me, comfort me, comfort me, oh my soul. Comfort me, comfort me, comfort me, oh my soul. Oh my soul, at times I feel alone, isolated, even if there are people around me. It can be hard to share my inner world with others or to let them help me. But when we sing together, I feel others' presence. And I know that together we have enough caring to go around for everyone, including me. Gathered community, will you sing with me? Sing with me, sing with me, sing with me, oh my soul. Sing with me, sing with me, sing with me, oh my soul. Oh my soul, sometimes I am just weary. When it's hard to get out of bed in a dark morning, hard to face difficult tasks, hard to lift my foot or open my heart. I know I may need rest and fortitude. I may need to refill the well within me. Rest is a gift that I will try to allow myself to have when I need it. My needs are important, and I deserve rest. Oh, my soul, you can rest, and we'll sing rest. Rest with me, rest with me, rest with me, oh my soul. Rest with me, rest with When I have been nourished with song, I grow stronger. When I have felt the presence of caring community around me, I feel more able to use my own power. When I have given my body and spirit the rest they need, I am renewed. Day by day, like a green growing thing, I am ready to rise. In power and in beauty, I return to the world and bring to it my love and my joy. Rise with me. Rise with me. Rise with me. Rise with me, oh my soul. Rise with me. Rise with me. Rise with me, oh my soul. Thank you. I invite us now to just spend a few minutes together in silence. Don't worry if your tummy grumbles or if you need to shift a little to get more comfortable. Just welcome a little respite of silence from a hectic and loud world. After a time of silence, we'll sing together, Spirit of Life, which is hymn number 123. The words to this song are also printed on the purple laminated cards in your pews. We'll sing it first in English and then in Spanish. But first, rest with me. Our reading this morning is by Reverend Victoria Safford. I used them earlier this year, and I promised you that I would share them with you again the Sunday closest to the election. And here we are. Eden and Claire are going to join me for this. These words were spoken by Reverend Victoria in June of this year, just before a momentous vote to adopt a revised Article 2 of the UUA bylaws, replacing our beloved 7 principles with 6 shared values as a way to describe Unitarian Universalism. It was a very stressful and polarized vote, not unlike the one coming up this week. And it held the possibility of tearing Unitarian Universalism asunder. These framing words by Reverend Safford held the vote in a gentler and more spacious way than any of the previous arguments for and against had done. And so we turn to them now on the brink of another vote that has deep ramifications for not just our faith, but our country.
Victoria says, "Friends, let's take a breath. Breathe deep the spirit of life and know that by breath we are bound to one another, to every living thing and the rain and the land, the larger love and mystery that transcends our understanding. Breathe deep, and wherever you are, be grateful. Here together, we are in good company."
We are also a small company. Today's vote is momentous for us, but we are small within the wider world, and this day is small within eons of time, both future and past. What we do here matters deeply, yet in context, we know this may not be the most important election of 2024. Parentheses, Kate added. I'll add that now we are at the most important election of 2024, and yet her advice still holds.
Beyond our UU world, the wider world is weeping, aching, dancing and changing. Within our little worlds, our congregation, our households, we ourselves are weeping and aching, singing and struggling. Our vote today matters, and yet in some ways, nothing changes either way. We still need, each of us, a Unitarian Universalism to anchor us, steady us, challenge us, unsteady us, infuse our days with gratitude, and bless our nights with hope.
I made my notes for this video in a hospital room while my partner recovered from cancer surgery. He's gonna be fine, but still, the Unitarian Universalism I need right now and always is not the clenched fist of bickering, nitpicking theoretical arguments, but the open heart of brave hope and unrelenting love. I am weary, maybe you are too, of the scathing, belittling, you bluster that hard discussions sometimes bring out in us. We have no time for that, with our world as it is and our lives as they are.
I made my notes in between texts to 2 friends. One has beloveds in Palestine right now, and she's not sure they're still alive. So much is at stake. My other friend just published a poem about his Jewish ancestors and their young descendants now on campuses and in the street, leading us all, he wrote, toward a terrible, beautiful new promise. So much is at stake. I wrote my notes with machines humming, fluids dripping, my friends holding war as an intimate reality on a green spring morning on a warming, wounded planet, and nurses moving in and out, doing their hard and holy work, all the sacraments of care.
What matters and what doesn't? What's transient and what's permanent? When I began in ministry, the principles and purposes were still new. And then, as now, people tore their hair, rent their garments at GA, lined up at microphones to decry the death of our tradition, the top-down of imposition of a creeping creedalism that would destroy our movement. And here we are, not yet destroyed. We can neither be brought down nor saved by any bylaw change. It's the way we move that matters. The way we move forward together. The weight of the trust and respect and compassion we bear for each other. The strength of our great covenant. However we vote, we put love at the center. Unflinching, insistent.
This free faith we so cherish reveres the past and trusts the dawning future more. We believe in evolution unfolding always, not unraveling, and revelation is not sealed.
So take a breath. What matters to you in this vote? What is one thing that matters? And what will happen to that thing if the vote does not go your way? What will truly be lost? And what won't, if it's true? What will abide either way, still holding you, still calling out your name? And what if the vote goes the way you hope it will today? How tomorrow and in the days to come will you reach out to your people, your UU family? And I mean those who don't agree with you, who may not be like-minded, but surely are like-hearted. If the vote goes the way you want, how will you resolve to be an agent of healing, a brave, humble channel of healing and hope?
Friends, however it goes, Victoria said, we must stay hand in hand, drawing our circle more wide. Thank you. Now is the time when we take up a collection for the ongoing support of this Meetinghouse and our shared ministry. As we enjoy a musical reflection by our choir, we welcome your donations here in the sanctuary or online through PayPal or Venmo. You can find that information on our website, uumh.org. At this point, I invite 3 volunteer ushers forward to take up our collection. On and off-site, your offerings will now be gratefully received.
Hello, neighbors. You may have noticed that I've put some lyric sheets in the pews. Some of them have 2, some of them have 1. This song that we're going to sing is very familiar to some of us who have sung in the choir before. Thanks to Mark Miller, who wrote the tune for us and for the world. It's a lyric sheet. If you know the song, please join with us, but the choir is going to hold on to the heavy part of the performance. At the end, it says verse 3. We're actually going to sing that twice, one time with the choir, and one time I'm going to ask the congregation to join us. and then we'll end it at where it says, I think I put end this somewhere. Thank you for being here today, and thank you for allowing us to give you our musical offering.
Draw the circle wide. Draw the circle wide. No one stands alone, we'll stand side by side. Draw the circle wide. Draw the circle wide. Draw the circle wide. No one stands alone, we'll stand side by side. Draw the circle wide. Draw the circle wide. Draw it wider still. Let this be our song. No one stands alone, standing side by side. Draw the circle wide. Draw the circle wide. Draw the circle wide. No one stands alone, we'll stand side by side. Draw the circle wide. Draw the circle wide. Draw the circle wide. No one stands alone, we'll stand side by side. Draw the circle wide. Draw the
Thank you, Bill.
Beautiful. My colleague, Reverend Kim Wilczewski, is the senior minister at the Washington Crossing congregation in Titusville, New Jersey. And this morning, during her congregation's Time for All Ages, she is offering a blessing of all the poll workers, both those in the congregation and those in the wider community. And I really liked that idea for many reasons. So I thought I would borrow her words for part of our own service today. I know that I will be working the polls in Wellfleet on Tuesday. I'm wondering if we have any other Election Day volunteers. Mary, Vicki, thank you, thank you. Now, my job on Tuesday morning is going to be a pretty easy one. I am checking people out after they fill in their ballots. If you live in Wellfleet, you might see me. But I'm always so impressed with the town clerk and with the other volunteers who make sure that our voting goes smoothly. Now, here's what I've experienced in my little town in elections past. Everyone is totally committed to the fairness and transparency of the process. On election day at the polls, as we go about our tasks, there is no talk of the candidates or the issues. We have no idea, with the people we're volunteering with, who is voting for who. We speak only friendly banter about the tasks at hand, about accuracy, about hand cramps from processing so many envelopes, and about hopes for a big voter turnout. And it is so inspiring watching the wheels of democracy turning. And yet we know that all of this calm, repetitive work is happening on a very momentous day with very real ramifications for our country. Here's how Reverend Kim is describing it to the children this morning. Now, we've got some smart kids in this room, she's going to say, smart people. I know that even if you don't fully understand all that's going on right now in our country, you've seen the signs on the lawns, you've heard the overwhelmed sighs coming from your grown-ups. You've seen the commercials about different people and how they are spoken about. You've heard how they speak. On Tuesday, every adult in our country is being asked to vote for who our next leaders of our country, our states, and our communities will be. Many grown-ups will vote. Some won't, some can't, and some will be nervous about voting because everyone's feeling really anxious, really worked up, really from the amygdala. Do you know what the amygdala is? You see, Reverend Kim will explain, humans have this part of the brain called the amygdala, and it helps us process our emotions, especially fear. When we get afraid, the amygdala jumps into action and shuts down the entire rest of our brain. It won't let calm speak. It won't let questions ask questions. It won't let wonder jump in. Right now, a lot of us grown-ups are moving around with mostly our amygdalas in charge. It's not a bad thing, it's just a true thing. And because of this, it's super helpful to have others help us think clearly, feel safe, and figure our way through really important moments, like voting. Some of the people who are helpers like this are called poll workers, and we have many of them in this room with us today. Poll workers are our helpers who make sure that no matter what else is going on around us, we get the opportunity to make it known what we believe, what matters, and who we trust. Kids, you're my kids. Kids, every week we try to teach you something about Unitarian Universalism, something about the world that you're growing up in, and how to move through it with a good heart, with helping hands, and with an open mind. You won't remember each week's lesson, and that's fine. But I hope that in the years to come, you do remember that when we were afraid, we not only looked for the helpers, we found them among us, and we chose to bless them. So let's bless them. Any poll volunteers here, I invite you to stand, and we'll just picture all of the other ones working across the country on Tuesday. We are bound to each other, a part of this great web. Frightened but hopeful, casting a vision forward despite every possible challenge. And you, dear helpers, are helping us find and make our way. May you be treated with kindness and gratitude. May you act with dignity and faithfully. May you know your work has mattered. We bless you with our affirmation. We are blessed by your bravery. Amen. I was just so moved by Kim's words to the children and to the poll workers. I mean, I didn't used to think too much about town clerks and volunteers and police officers who oversee the voting process, but now I do. Since 2020, city and town clerks across the country have shared stories about threats, intimidation, and conspiracy theories that have made them feel not that the voting system is unsafe, but that they are unsafe themselves. Many poll workers have resigned or retired, leaving communities short of staff for this election. And that is such a tragedy, because the very people who are questioning the sanctity of the process are starting to pull it apart at the seams. And this is making the rest of us really anxious. We worry about how things will go at the polls on Tuesday and in the weeks afterward. And the thing is, people on all sides of this, both those questioning the process and those trying to maintain faith in it, maybe fearing the results of it, are all operating from the same place, the amygdala, the fear center. And honestly, we don't make the best decisions when we are operating from this place. I was thinking this week about how when civil rights activists in the 60s were getting ready for their marches and sit-ins, their big protests that were sometimes dangerous, they used to begin by singing together. Bernice Johnson Regan died this summer. She was a founding member of an all-black female a cappella group called Sweet Honey in the Rock. She was also, in the early 1960s, a member of the Freedom Singers, organized by the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee, SNCC. In an interview for Eyes on the Prize, Bernice explains the power of music during the civil rights movement. The law was not there to protect you, she said. The law was a danger to you. Just their physical presence would create a chill. And the singing helped you navigate that energy inside your body. I'm talking about sound moving through your body and helping you to breathe through that tension. It's very important not to suggest that singing made fear disappear, she said, because you really knew the danger and that did not go anywhere. But singing could help you stay and hold your stance. And the singing was essential to those of us involved in the action. It was galvanizing, it pulled us together, it helped us to handle fear and anger. Now, I'm thinking that this week and in the weeks to come, we are going to need some tools to help us navigate the energy inside our bodies, to help us move through anxiety and maybe fear and maybe anger or whatever other emotions might arise. So what I thought we'd do today is have a worship service devoted to the practices that move us out of that fear center, out of that fight or flight response that tenses up our bodies and our minds, into a more love-centered space, a more grounded space, a spacious place that allows us to breathe, to pause, to think more clearly and less reactively. Maybe you've already picked up on some of that today, the energy work that we've been doing during today's service. music, singing, breathing, movement, prayer, lighting candles, being quiet. These are all ways to change the energy in the room, the energy in our bodies. These are all ways to calm our adrenaline, calm our nervous systems, calm our brain, our amygdala. And we who go to church, we who are members of a faith community, actually have a real leg up here. Because there are so many things that we practice here each week that do this grounding work for us. And it's not just on Sundays. This faith community offers other opportunities throughout the week for grounding too. On Monday mornings on Zoom, Ellen leads a Qigong class that all are welcome to. On Monday evenings, Bonnie leads our meditation group. Tuesday nights, we connect with each other at our Zoom coffee hour, both through our discussions of the question of the week and through our sharing of joys and sorrows. I always feel calmer and more connected after we spend intentional time together, held by the containers of ritual and fed by the vibrations of music and energy and breath. Have any of you been feeling anxious this week? I thought that might be the case. Now, sometimes anxious energy can be useful. It can motivate us to do some of the change work that needs to happen to make things around us better. We've been using it to fuel our postcard writing and voting strategies. But now, on the Sunday before the election and moving into this week, there isn't more that our anxious energy can help us with. And it can begin to just be a disservice to ourselves to stay in that anxious place. So in addition to what we've already been doing, I have invited Ellen to lead us now in some Qigong. So let's see if we can't change what's left of that anxious energy in the room into something different.
So we're going to navigate some movement, some energy, and you can stay seated right where you are, or you can stand, but only do what's comfortable for you. Listen to your body. First, I'd like to invite the amygdala into the room, as if it's already here, I'm quite sure. So let's shake. Just get loose. Just let whatever's in there at whatever level, just get dislodged a bit. Unstuck. Excellent. And now the amygdala can just chill. Will you breathe in with me? And breathe out. Moving the arms helps our mind stay with the body. Two more. 1. 2. And a gentle twisting. Just swinging your torso. Letting your shoulders rotate. Waking up all the energy in the spine, refreshing. more twists. 1, 2, and come to stillness and just check how you're feeling. Let's invite a bigger reach. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale out and up. Letting the energy flush through your own core. Letting the energy spread out. Draw the circle wide. We each are radiating what's inside. 2 more. 1. 2. That's all you have to do.
Thank you so much, Ellen. Our spiritual community is a field of practice. Practice for the spiritual discipline of attention and the cultivation of peace, of gratitude, of awe, of hope. Our spiritual community is a field of practice for the spiritual disciplines of calming ourselves, walking ourselves back from the edge, smoothing our words that we use with one another. Beloveds, be careful with your words this week. Paying attention to what we are feeling inside so that it does not overwhelm us or leak out in unhelpful ways. Allowing us to be present so that we can be in the world and be there for the world, for our community. I hope that you'll call on all of these practices this week. On Tuesday evening, we'll be gathering on Zoom for our 5 o'clock midweek coffee hour, but instead of having a discussion, we're going to lean on these calming practices. We'll watch some music videos together. Allison will lead us in a guided meditation, and we'll light candles of hope. So please have a little candle nearby if you can on Tuesday evening. On Wednesday, as I said, we're opening the Meetinghouse from 10 to noon just to be together, to practice the self-care of connection. And anytime you are feeling overwhelmed or dysregulated, I hope you'll remember some of the tools that we've learned together here. Try to remember one of the movements that Ellen taught us. Sing Spirit of Life to yourself, or send a little blessing out into the world. See if it makes you feel any differently. And I want to close today's service with one last spiritual practice, one that combines the power of music with the Buddhist practice of metta meditation, where you send your love out into the world in growing circles of care. This is hymn number 1031 in our teal hymnals, Filled with Loving Kindness. We'll sing it 3 times, first using the word I, the second time using the word you, and the third time we. Let's sing this with intention and with love. Please rise as you are able for our closing hymn number 1031, Filled with Loving Kindness. You. May you be filled with loving kindness. May you be well. May you be filled with loving kindness. May you be well. May you be peaceful and at ease. May you be whole. May we be filled with loving kindness. May we be well. May we be filled with loving kindness. May we be well. May we be peaceful and at ease. May we be whole. You may be seated. I'll end with these closing words. Thank you again to Victoria. We can neither be brought down nor saved by any election cycle. It's the way we move that matters, the way we move forward together, the weight of the trust and respect and compassion we bear for each other, the strength of our great covenant. However we vote, we put love at the center, unflinching, insistent. Friends, however it goes on Tuesday, may we stay hand in hand, drawing our circle more wide. Go in peace.